So just for like fun, hypothetically, India's a crazy place. They see a pretty blonde girl, they're gonna go nuts and think she's a celebrity regardless. What would you do? What would you do to defend Liv Morgan if you had to defend her in India?
Dude, I would do anything possible from stopping her from getting mobbed by a
Yeah.
bunch of,
Yeah.
Indian fans or whatever. I'd grab her title and start swinging it like Seth. Make sure no one gets close.
Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, it's your boy, the Wrestling Classic, Justin here with another interview from the WWE. WWE is returning to Canada in Quebec in August 8th, Friday in Montreal, and August 11th, Monday in Quebec City. And we got a very special guest here, someone I'm going to give a little bit of an introduction to. A man who overcame his deadbeat father to join one of the most dominant factions in the WWE in professional wrestling, a bona fide ladies' man, a self-proclaimed 20-year veteran, a man that took chicken tenders off the kids' menu and brought them back to relevancy and made it an adult delicacy, and most importantly, the current Intercontinental Champion of the world, Dominik Mysterio. How are we doing today?
I'm doing amazing. Are you kidding me? The greatest Intercontinental Champion of all time, greatest Mysterio of all time. And you made me sad. I was having a good day. You said WWE is going back to Canada. I hate Canada.
What do you mean?
But it's okay. I go wherever the greatest Intercontinental Champion needs to go. So yeah, we're here.
That's great. You are the Intercontinental Champion, so that does include Canada, unfortunately for you.
Unfortunately.
I mean, we had fun when you came to Vancouver that one time. I took you guys out, tried to make it more fun than usual.
It's still Canada, though. That's the thing.
Well, I was going to ask you this later, but I'm going to ask you this right now really quickly then. Have you ever had a poutine yet?
Yes, I've had poutine.
Do you like a poutine?
I like poutine. I don't mind poutine. I'm a big gravy guy. I like the cheese. I like cheese curds, and you can never go wrong with some French fries. So it's like, other than Trish Stratus, that might be the greatest thing to ever come out of Canada.
Well, now you already jumped to another question I was going to ask you later. I'm going to ask you now. But on the poutine note, though, really quickly, I know that there's a such thing called disco fries in the States that some people have had that is basically a poutine. But for the most part, nobody knows what a poutine is in America. And they always, when I show them pictures, like, ew, like, what is that? But
no,
I'm glad you like them.
You got to remember, I lived in Calgary for a couple months. So, like,
okay.
Like, for me, I had to get used to all this terrible Canadian food, right? So, like, poutine was one of those things that kind of just grew on me. I was like, all right, I can dig with these French fries and gravy and cheese curds. It's not bad. And I actually had chicken tender poutine where they added like little pieces of chicken tenders inside the poutine. So that was pretty fire.
Yeah, that is a thing. You can add lots of things. They do all different kinds of poutines here. I was going to ask you later near the end, but I'm going to ask you now because obviously you've been around the business your entire life, being second generation, third generation if you include your uncle as well. But that being said, you must have, like, as a kid, you must have had some childhood crushes backstage roaming around the arenas. So who were you, like, top 3 childhood crushes back in those days when you were a kid just roaming around backstage?
Man, I've said this before. I'm more than happy to say it again. Number 1 for me always will be Tori Wilson.
Yeah.
I've loved Tori since I was a child. I don't know what it is. It is what it is.
Yeah.
I got Tori at number 1. I got Trish at number 2, just because, like I said, the only good thing to ever come out of Canada. And then number 3, man, this is a toss-up for me. I could go so many different ways, but I feel like it's been a toss-up between like Stacy and Lita for me.
Yeah.
But I got 2 Juanitas in there, so I'm gonna go Lita.
Fair enough. I loved how, like, even Tori in her Hall of Fame speech was like, I hoped a bunch of you go through puberty, and that was like, and the New Day stood up and clapped because it's true. It's an interesting fact.
Yeah, I don't know if I was there at that Hall of Fame. I don't know where I should have ran on the stage and just been like, yeah.
Yeah, you should have. I want to apologize. You mentioned you stayed in Calgary for a few months. That's no disrespect to Calgary, but like, unless you were there in the summer, like, that's the only good time. So
I was there during the winter.
See, even worse. So I understand why you don't like Canada. Be in Calgary in the summer, be in Vancouver, be in Toronto, be in Montreal, better cities. I'm telling you. We'll change your mind. I swear,
All
spend some
right.
more
You
time
said
down
we're
there.
going back in August,
In
right?
August to Montreal, which is a
Is
great
that
place.
is that
Summertime.
during like summertime? All right. All
Summertime will
right.
be sunny. The party scene in Montreal is not bad whatsoever.
All
Let's
right.
talk about it. I know you've probably been asked about this a lot today, but we have to talk about it because it's a big deal. You won the Intercontinental Championship at WrestleMania. What did that mean to you to win it at WrestleMania, and how does that feel?
Man, for me, it felt super surreal, right? It was I was 0-3 at WrestleMania. All of my other matches at WrestleMania had something to do with, my deadbeat, whether I was tagging with him, wrestling against him, or tagging with someone else against him and someone else. So like everything it had to do with him. So the fact that I was walking into this WrestleMania alone as myself, Dirty Dom, the greatest Mysterio of all time, and then walking out, getting booed, to walking back after the match to just endless amounts of cheers and just them singing this Dirty Dom song. Like, dude, it was so, so surreal. Like, I never expected it, especially the kind of reaction I got. But like, it was a huge blessing. And the fact that like I was able to walk out as your new Intercontinental Champion, it only took me less than 5 years to become better than that deadbeat. And here I am, greatest
No,
Intercontinental Champion of all time.
for sure. And it's a cool statistic. You're the third father son duo that's both won the Intercontinental
Who's the
Champion.
other two?
Rikishi and Jay, and then Mr. Perfect and Curtis Axel. But you're in the top three there.
Better than all four of them.
There you go. There you go. I gotta ask
Crazy.
you though, because I'm gonna take a little bit of credit for it. I'm not gonna lie though, I did steal it from a smaller page on Twitter first. But that side by side comparison with your other father, Eddie Guerrero, where you were holding the Intercontinental title, then the picture of Eddie holding it. Then I
Yeah.
posted it on my Instagram. The next thing you
Like
know, I was
looking
on.
down at it.
Yeah, yeah. And then I posted on my Instagram. Next thing you know, WWE and Netflix stole it, and they posted it, and all these other pages started posting it. I'm like, oh, cool, cool. But that being said, how much like when you saw that picture, how cool was that for you to see that, and like people were making those comparisons and like all of that?
Man, it was super badass because a lot of those things that like a lot of people think that like I do think like and to their credit, I do. A lot of the things I do are intentional as far as like, doing my best to give Eddie credit or like trying to continue with his legacy, right? Because I've said this before, but I'm carrying two legacies on my back now. I got the Mysterios and I got the Guerreros because it's just the way life is, and I'm out here carrying both of them on my back. But like a lot of things that I do where people put like side by sides of me and Eddie, like I do that so unintentionally. Like it
Yeah,
just it just happens on like it's a happy accident that happens that like my mannerisms or like I've just watched him so much and studied him so much that like I naturally do things that he used to do or that he did like I don't even do them on purpose. I just naturally do those things. So like when people put side by sides of that, it makes me believe even more that he just might have been my real dad.
yeah. And honestly, you've done a lot to pay tribute in your own way to luchadors of the past, outside of just your dad and Eddie and others. Like through tattoos and some of the stuff of your attires. Like you see a little bit of La Parka, you see a little bit of all this other stuff they do, and it's really cool that you do that. Considering like that's really is you're still like as much as like people might be like, oh, he's not really doing the luchador thing, he's not wearing a mask or whatnot. You're paying tribute your own way. Is that
Yeah.
something you take pride in?
Yeah, 100%. Like I saw this post a while ago that I kept getting tagged in, and it was everything that I had on my gear that represented each luchador legend that I was like paying tribute to, and that's 100% correct. I wear the boots because of Perraguayo and Hijo de Perraguayo. I wear the vest because of Parca. I wear the little strings on my side for Jerry Estrada. I like the shirt I wear around my waist again for Hijo del Perraguayo. Just like little things that I do just to pay homage to like our culture and like those who came before me and like helped revolutionize this sport, right? I just try to like do my best to continue mm, bringing in that culture into what I'm currently doing, because like a lot of the lucha guys, like they wear masks and do all this crazy stuff, and like, you know, who gives a shit? Like we have 13 of these guys that like you got Phoenix, you got Penta, you got, my deadbeat, you got Dragon, like it don't matter. The luchador that they're talking about is me. and
Yeah.
I'm not even a traditional classic. It doesn't matter how many of these guys you bring or how many of these guys talk about or who's new, who's not. Like the one that matters and the one that they talk about is Dirty Dominik Mysterio, and that's all that kind of matters at this point, you know? Like I'm bringing in the culture, I'm bringing in the lucha. I got everything going for me. Like I'm the best of every world coming into one, and that's
Yeah.
just what it is.
No, I think it's super cool, and I see it being like the wrestling fan that I am and picking up on small things. I'm like, I see these things growing up on WCW as well, and all the luchadors that were in there. I'm like, I see these little things they do. It's cool. Hey, yo, it's your boy, the Wrestling Classic. Just with a very special announcement. I gotta let you guys know about the premier wrestling convention in Los Angeles. LAX Fan Fest. Check them out. Bret the Hitman Hart, Dustin Rhodes, Rikishi, Conan, Godfather, Mina Shirakawa, Victoria. So many great names. LAX Fan Fest, June 28, 2025, 5711 Century Boulevard at the Hilton by LAX. Come on through. It's the premier wrestling convention in Los Angeles. If you haven't been to one, you'll absolutely enjoy it. We'll be doing a giveaway for all of you big Bret Hart fans, so keep your eye out for that giveaway. Follow LAX Fan Fest on social media. Follow the Wrestling Classic. Check out fanfestlax.com. Get your tickets. Google it. Figure it out. Be there. June 28th, LAX Fan Fest. Bret Hart, Dustin Rhodes, Rikishi, X-Pac, Conan, then the list goes on. If you're an old school wrestling fan, if you're a new school wrestling fan, you're going to have a blast. LAX Fan Fest. Come through. Make sure you're there. Keep doing the thing. Speaking about culture, I guess I might be the only one in this continent that can ask you about this that does wrestling interviews right now. You spent a lot of time in India in the last couple of months. And as a Canadian-born Indian, I got some questions about that. First things first. You did that photo shoot with Liv where you guys dressed up and you did kind of that Bollywood themed photo shoot. What was your mindset going into that? And did you have any idea what you were doing?
I mean, so before going to India, I was told I was getting measurements done.
Yeah.
For what specifically, I had no idea. I assumed it was like some traditional like, you know, stuff.
Yeah.
But I genuinely didn't have a clue.
Yeah.
So then we show up to Mumbai and it's like we're only there for like 2 days. So like we're just constantly going. And man, it was so life-changing for me to like it's like going out there and seeing India and like just seeing how big and massive WWE actually is out there and like what impact like it was just me and Liv and like the impact that we were having like just going out there and like doing all this social stuff like it was honestly super surreal and like the fact that we were the chosen ones to go out there like just goes to show you the power that me and my Wadita have, you know? It's
uh,
really cool. And we got to try a bunch of Indian food. I had some chicken pakora or
yeah. That's
I
you're right. You got it right. Chicken
did I get it
pakoda.
right?
Yeah, you
Yeah.
did. Yeah.
So like they had some of those for me. They made me like custom chicken tenders out there. Like they really treated us like royalty.
No, that's awesome. You guys are like the it couple up there. That's cool. And the
We
fact that you
were.
just
We
said,
are, brother. Come on
yeah,
now.
yeah, yeah. No, but the fact that you said you guys were only there for 2 days and like how much content I've seen from you guys out there is crazy.
Yeah.
They had you guys doing Bollywood dialogues and scenes and
Yes.
playing games and
Brother, we were
eating
we were
food and
nonstop from like 6 in
yeah,
the morning till like 7 p.m. at night. And it was like
yeah,
same the next day. And it's the second day when we were finishing up, we finished at like 7 o'clock and we had to be at the airport at like 9 p.m. for a 16-hour flight. So it's like
yeah,
we were going. And I mean, there's no one better than us at what we do. So it's like that's why you gotta send then I wasn't the champ, but she was a
yeah,
champ. So you gotta
yeah.
send one champ one way or another.
I thought the shoot was really cool. As someone that, like, that's my background and seeing that, I was like, oh, this is a cool representation of India. And it's cool that they used you too. Because the one thing I'll say about India, and I'm going to say this in the most respectful way possible that wrestling fans will get, but India is the personification of it's still real to me, damn it. So, like, so
Yeah.
I know they were probably going nuts for the two of you, and I have to ask because I know you probably spent some time on social media. So just for like fun, hypothetically, India's a crazy place. They see a pretty blonde girl, they're gonna go nuts and think she's a celebrity regardless. What would you do? What would you do to defend Liv Morgan if you had to defend her in India?
Dude, I would do anything possible from stopping her from getting mobbed by a
Yeah,
bunch of, you know,
yeah,
Indian fans or whatever. I'd grab her title and start swinging it like Seth, make sure no one gets close. I got long legs, dude, so I'd probably throw over my shoulder and just hit the running, just book
yeah,
it, something.
yeah.
Um, I don't know. I'm a sicko, dude. I if I knew something was gonna go down, I'd probably carry like a blonde wig with me and just put it on someone and have them run the other way while we go the other way. Like I don't know,
Smart.
some
Get some
Scooby Doo
strategy.
shit. Yeah,
Some
come on
Scooby Doo
now.
shoe strategy. I got it. I got it. Hey yo, it's your boy, the Wrestling Classic Justin here, and I'm here to tell you guys about one of wrestling's best kept secrets for merchandise, officially licensed WWE and NXT merchandise, 500level.com. Check them out, 500level.com. Get officially licensed merchandise for the WWE, NXT, UFC, MLB, NBA, NHL. They got it all. If you join the Partnership Point program as a loyal customer, you will get discounts down the road. You can find merchandise for some of your favorite NXT stars that you can't find anywhere else. Javon Evans, Kalani Jordan, Carmen Petrovic, Lola Vice, Trick Williams. They got merchandise for everybody on NXT. You got OG shirts like this NWO shirt. You got big stars like the Queen Charlotte Flair. You get new designs like this new design for Lita. You get designs I helped out with, like this design for Dakota Kai, which I was a part of creating when Dakota didn't have those many shirts going on. You can get, like I said, NXT superstars like Carmen Petrovic and many others. You can get OGs like the none other than the Hot Rod, Rowdy, Roddy Piper. You can get CM Punk, Jey Uso, Seth Rollins, Roman Reigns, anybody you want. Sami Zayn's 500level.com. Check them out. You can even get the bad guy, Razor Ramon. You get your OG, like I said, logo shirts, NWO, WWF, Survivor Series, Raw's War. 500level.com. Check them out. Join the partnership program. Some of the best quality shirts, premium quality, regular quality, some of the best product you will find out there. Officially licensed WWE, NXT merchandise, and OG Legend stuff. 500level.com. Check them out. Keep doing the thing. We'll see you all later.
Mm.
I'm going to ask you about three people really quickly. First things first, John Cena. He said some very kind things about you on the Pat McAfee show and put you over, saying you're the future of the business. What does that mean to you, hearing that from someone like John Cena? Especially while he's a bad guy right now and he's still
Man,
putting you over.
I think that was super, super dope of him to do that, because John doesn't have to do any of that stuff. John doesn't have to, he's John Cena, he's the biggest, if not the biggest movie star in the world, along with the biggest wrestler currently in the world. And it's like for him to say those things about me, um, it's just it's really cool to see, especially because like I started with him when the pandemic ended and we had live crowd back. Like he was the guy that was there for me with the tag matches, giving me advice. He was a good guy. As baby, we both were baby faces at that time. I was tagging with John Cena and Rey Mysterio against Roman and the Usos. So like I had Cena, I had Roman, I had the Usos, like kind of just in my ear this whole time, right? But the fact that like Cena was able to see me from like that beginning to then like couple months later when he came back, like maybe a year or two later when he came back, I was a bad guy then, and I got to wrestle him in a dark match. So like he's seen me through this whole process and what I've gone through, right? So like for him to say those words about me, it's just it's really special. And again, too, I've known that dude since I was a kid. Like
Yeah.
I love the Doctor of Thugonomics, like I played his album when I was in school. Like before I jumped in the showers, I always got to listen to music or like have a speaker on. I play his CD. It was signed for me. Like I was a Cinemark, But like at the end of the day, it's really cool to hear from a guy like that.
Speaking of people that you've known since you were a child, you were CM Punk's first match back when he came back to the WWE in the Garden. What is up with this ongoing beef you have with CM Punk? This mutual ongoing beef between the two of you.
I think we just both mutually hate each other equally because I fucking hate CM Punk. I don't know what it is about that guy. I don't know if it's because he looks like Eddie Munster and I just want to kick him in the fucking face, or the fact that like everyone's like, "Oh, he finally did it. He finally got his WrestleMania main event." Like, good for you, old man. 60 years old, took you long, what, 45 years to accomplish your one goal? Like, god damn, dude. Like, it's about time. It's like what they say about babies. When they have tantrums, you give them what they want so they can shut the fuck up, right? So I'm
Yeah.
pretty sure that's what happened with this whole like give this man. That's why he needed a favor from Paul Heyman, because obviously Punk was never like there's a reason he was never in the main event, right? Th- That's just there's a reason you call
I'm
your
not going to agree or disagree with that.
you call yourself the best in the world. I don't need to go around calling myself the best in the world because people know I am I'm better than the best. So like I don't need to go out there calling myself best in the world at 70 years old. Like, I don't need to go out there and do that for myself. People do it
70 years
for
old
me.
is crazy.
People do it for me. Like, you have Cena talking about me. You have JBL. You have these legends talking about me. AJ Styles. You have them talking. I don't need to do it for myself. I don't need to say these things about me because people are saying it for me. My work speaks for itself. But here you go with CM Punk. I can go on this rant forever, but I'm not going to. So I'm gonna need to stop myself here before Greg jumps in and gets me in
Yeah.
trouble.
We're running a little overtime, so we got to wrap this up. Let me ask you quickly about this. Do you still pick up the phone sometimes and worry that it's Zelina Vega on the other end, pretending to be a child, or are you
God.
fully?
No, Selena Vega is a child. Selena Vega is a child. Are you kidding me? You're a grown adult taking your title to Disneyland. Like, come on. Like, are you are you kidding me? I've won this title in the biggest place, in the biggest way, shape, and form possible. You don't see me doing this. I'm a professional. I'm the fucking man. I am the greatest intercontinental champion of all time. You don't see me flashing it and doing all these stuff, taking it to theme parks like I'm some child. No, I'm a grown man handling business, doing things the right way. But she can call me off her little bike that she needs stepping stools to get on. Um, but yeah, it is what it is. I could care less
I
about
was there. I was
Selena.
there. I somehow jumped in a Twitch stream right when she prank called you and started talking like a child about chicken
I don't
nuggets.
even know how she got my number.
Another person I want to ask you really quickly is because I had her on the show and I asked her about her matching tattoos, and you had many matching tattoos with Rhea Ripley. How do you feel now having these tattoos, and do you have anything in significance like that with your new love, Liv Morgan?
I don't recall any of these tattoos that I have with Rhea. I don't know. I've
No.
I got them lasered off, I think. I don't know.
Oh, okay,
I
okay.
don't think I have any matching tattoos. Did she say that? She's such
She
a
did.
lie.
She
She's the pathological liar, and this is why there were issues, obviously, because she denies the truth. She can't help herself but not tell anything but lies. So yeah, I don't know what she was talking about.
if you could show your younger self just one of your matches, if you could show like 10-year-old Dom one of your matches, which match are you showing them?
SummerSlam 2024, Cleveland, Rhea and Liv. Dom, little Dom, just sit there and watch. Just sit there and watch, young man. Just
He'd be
sit
pretty
there and
proud of
learn.
himself.
He'd
Yeah.
be so proud of himself. Just sit there and watch, my friend. Enjoy the ride you're about to go on. That's all I can say.
What do you listen to? Like, what's on your playlist? What does Dom listen
Dude,
to?
I got everything on my playlist. Depends the mood I'm in, but I am very right now. My mood has been very like traditional corridos tumbados. You got Calle 24, Fuerza Regida, Adriel Favela, Chino Pacas, Clave Especial. I'm knocking like all these guys. You got Junior H. But then you also I'm listening to more, country. I got Zach Bryan, I got, Luke Combs, a little bit of some Morgan Wallen.
Yeah.
So like, dude, I'm all over the place with my music. Even with like, I have a playlist before bed that has like Elvis, Sinatra, and like Marvin Gaye. So like, dude, I like it just depends the mood I'm in.
Nah, I get
Dirty
you. I'm the
Don
same
listens to
way.
everything.
I'm the same way. I get it. I'm all over the place, and also like then there's my own brown music, similar to you have your
Yeah,
own standalone
I
music. Yeah.
love music, dude.
Yeah, that's why I always want to ask about that when I do these interviews. Like, still let people know what people listen to, because now some people probably go listen to some of the names you just said. I'm a big
Yeah.
Zach Bryan fan too. He's great.
I
Morgan
love that
Wallen's
dude.
great. So
Yeah.
I feel like
Jelly
fully
Roll, I love
about.
my dude.
Yeah,
Jelly Roll,
Jelly
Post
Roll's great.
Malone. Like,
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
I can
I love
keep
how
going on.
everyone's kind of going into the country a little bit too. It's kind of cool to see.
Yeah. I don't think
Um,
it's cool now.
Last two questions, and then we'll wrap it up. I think it's super cool that we are in a generation, and I think it happens every generation, but we're seeing more third and second generation superstars come up. I mean, you just beat Braun Breaker for the Intercontinental Championship. How cool is it knowing that there's a group of legacy superstars in the company right now?
Man, I think it's super dope. I've always said this was a family business. And it continues to show that, right? As soon as I won the Intercontinental Championship at WrestleMania 41, what was the first thing I did? I went to go shove it in Scott Steiner and his kid's face. You
Yeah,
know? Like there was Braun Breaker had two of his cousins and his uncle there. Went to go let him know who, who the real one is, who walked out
yeah.
as the man that night. But honestly, it's super cool, man. You have a lot of things that we can have that we can go about this. We have second, third generation superstars. Hell, we got fourth generation superstars in there. It's just really cool to see how this is really become just, a family business.
Last but not least, I ask everybody this at the end. First things first, so thank you for being on here. It was a pleasure. It was great to talk to you. But do you feel like you made your younger self proud?
1,000%. I feel like I continue to make my younger self proud because I don't know if my younger self ever saw this happening, in the way that it's happened and as fast as it's happened. I think we're just very blessed, and I think little Dom would be very happy.
No, that's awesome. Well, thank you so much. It was a pleasure talking to you guys. Come to Montreal and Quebec City on August 8th and August 11th. WWE's coming back to Canada, and hopefully show Dom a good time so he likes Canada a bit more. It's summertime.
Hopefully,
Take him
but
out.
don't get your hopes up.
Let him enjoy the sunshine. Get him a couple of poutines with chicken tenders in it. Thank you so much.
Later, guys.
Time to say goodnight. We sincerely appreciate your patronage and hope we've succeeded in bringing you an enjoyable evening of entertainment. Please drive home carefully and come back again soon. Good night.
This is the worst chair to sit on because it spins, and I'll have a really bad habit of going like this.
Hey, I have no chair, so you're good. I have like this chair and I'm holding my shit, so you're good.
Okay, sweet. I just was spinning. I never used to do that, but I'm like, I start doing this a lot now.
You're good.
Okay.